one of the things that I've learned is by doing this, it helps me flush out stuff that I wouldn't be able to flush out. It just sits in my brain and doesn't get exercised or moved. What are you doing? But because I'm able to talk about it, it flushes it out. And if something is inaccurate, I can get to the inaccuracies. Okay, peeps, we are live. I hope we can hear us. Looks like you can. We got a lot to talk about today. You know why? Because Jay Powell is currently in front of Congress today. He was in front of Senate not that long ago. And he's talking some stuff that, yeah, affects the housing industry a lot. Not a little bit, a lot. We're going to talk about what Jay Powell is talking about, what it means for you trying to buy a house. We're going to talk about the different programs so that you can buy a house in 2024. And we're going to talk about the path of the economy in a little bit. So what do you got?
All right, guys, remember the routine, guys. Remember the routine. Help us help you. So what you have to do is you have to load up that tap. There I go again, getting these mints in my mouth scrambled around. Load up that chat box. Make sure you're asking us the questions that fit your scenario or maybe fit your friend or family scenario. I did get a call this week from someone that said, hey, I heard you guys talking about reverse mortgages. My mom has a reverse mortgage. We want to buy her house from her and take care of her for the rest of her life. How can we do this? So ask questions about you, your loved ones, your friends. We can walk everybody down the path. All you have to do is ask the questions. So load up that chat box.
But I'm going to hit you with what Jay Powell has put in front of Congress, and I'm going to hit you with some facts. So you better grab a pencil because you're going to have to take notes. This one's going to be kind of intense. Yeah, he's got a pen. Pen's and ink, and you have to scratch through it. But first thing you need to know is this is the housing chart, and this says, hey, this line is we have enough houses for the people. That's what it is. So in a while we had too many houses for the people, not enough houses, too many houses for the people, and currently we are not enough houses for the people. That's very important because Jay Powell is not looking to say, hey, can you afford a house? He doesn't give a shit.
Nope.
He doesn't really give a shit, not from the house perspective. And somewhere in the back of his mind, he cares a little bit. Like if there's a bird out there that dies on the tree, I care a little bit. I care a little bit, but I'm not going to alter my life for it. Nope. And that's Jay Powell. Jay Powell cares about the economy, the overall dollar, the economic stability of the United States. And a small portion of that is whether or not you can buy a house. So this becomes very important. How many houses are available? And currently we are in a deficit of houses. We don't have enough houses for the amount of demand that's out there. There is not. Jay Powell's in front of Congress, and they're pressing him, saying, hey, it's really hard for people to buy a house. And he's like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, the housing situation is out of control. What does that mean? Look at the number. Look at the count. So what does that mean for this? What does that mean? So Jay Powell said this, and it just shuddered me because it's scary. He says, we have to get the housing situation under control because everybody, it's unaffordable. But that is not saying I need to drop the interest rates. He actually went into how he needs a gigantic correction in the real estate market in order for everything to get affordable again. Because he knows if he drops interest rates, you know what's going to happen? There's going to be a ton of buyers in, and the prices are going to go way higher than they are today. Like a lot higher. Not a little bit higher, a lot higher. So he said, we need a significant housing correction. Now, there's only two ways to bring housing prices down. There's only two ways to bring it down, okay? The way housing prices will go down is when there's more of a supply than there is a demand. At that point, that's just economics 101. The supply, there's too many houses, not enough people chasing it. Prices will start to stabilize and go down, but we are still in a massive deficit. And the other way is to intentionally create a real estate correction. How would Jay Powell intentionally create a real estate correction? Not moving the rates for a very, very long time. When I listened to him talk and I was decoding it, I was going, oh shit. This, for my industry, for my business partner, for me, for all my friends in real estate, for all my friends in loans, this sucks. For all the people that are trying to buy houses that are thinking, hey, rates are going to come down, I can afford a house. because I understand the macro of this, because I understand what he's doing, he's not trying to fix whether or not you can buy a house. He's trying to maintain the economy. And in order to maintain the economy, one of the verticals, only one, is housing. And that is out of line. And the only way that he can correct housing is either to get more built or allow a correction, which means go down. And when they believe it's up to a 40% correction, that's some people that are talking that have the same mind that I do. So I'm sitting there going, oh my God, what does that mean? What does that mean? In translation, the Fed has backed off saying they're going to drop interest rates. They have backed off. They've like saying, hey, listen, things are not under control. We don't like the way they are. Housing seems to be a sticking point, and we do need a major correction in housing. Translation, in my opinion, we're holding these rates for a very, very, very long time. And we are aware that there is going to be a gigantic correction. So there's only two ways to solve this, because there's more people being born, more people become 33 years, which is kind of the age where everybody buys a house. The only way is to build a whole bunch or to bring the market down. Now, the build a whole bunch is starting. That's like, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's new building laws. There's actually a law that states that a county cannot prevent ADUs, because an ADU is a very small house. It costs a fraction of what the other house costs, but it adds another housing unit to the overall. So even the states and counties that were saying you cannot build ADUs, the Fed said, no, you can't. You have to. You have to allow it. You can put your own rules on it, but you have to allow it. It's happening in California. It's happening across the country, so that you have to allow it. So whose homeboy says get to the point. Yap. Where we at? Did I put out a point there? Does that kind of put it out there?
Yeah, well, are you saying there's going to be a crash, or are you saying there's not going to be a crash?
Well, it's not a crash.
Or are you just putting out stuff?
I'm putting out the data because he's like literally talking right now. I was listening to him all morning and yesterday, and I was listening to him just going, oh, this is not good. Oh, so what does that mean? Is it a good time to buy? Here's what it means. If you can afford a house, it's probably one of the best times. It might get better, but there's going to be fewer of you that qualify. Why? Because the rates are going to stay high. Inventory is not going to stay that high. And then rates will come down in a bit. I don't think it's going to happen fast at all. At all. So, yeah, can I put a house under a VA loan under an LLC? Giovanni Maranasa 4. Simple answer is probably not. Probably not. The VA loan, so an LLC has an EIN number, that's an employee identification number identified by the IRS, and you have a Social Security number. You, the Social Security number, are the veteran. The VA loan funds for the veteran, not for the LLC. If you use the VA loan and then you transfer it, there's something called a due on sale clause on most loans, which means the minute you sold it, even if you called it transferred, it's still sold. The minute you sold it, you technically owe the bank all the money back if there's a due on sale clause. Anyway, we're a little bit, I got a little bit on a tangent because I've been listening to Jerome Powell speak for a while, and I'm just sitting there decoding it and going, this, and I get it. We are in the unfortunate industry that gets hurt because of this, but his job is not to just fix the real estate economy. That's not his job. His job is to make sure the United States stays alive and the economic backbone of the U.S. and, quite frankly, the globe, it stays intact. And if that means people don't get houses, then people don't get houses. That's kind of the reality of it.
Yeah, I got my opinions, but let's get to this
Okay,
questions
cool.
really quick. Bill, payment is spelled wrong? Okay, moving on. Mikey D, so a recession would be a good for the industry.
So, Mikey D, a recession, well, I believe once we reverse engineer this stuff, we're already in a recession. It takes a while before they actually admit it because they don't want people to freak out. But if you live in the real world, like, here's something. I have some people that live in bubbles. So some people like live in Hollywood and they live in a bubble, and that's their bubble, but they don't know the rest of the world. There are some people that live in a really bad bubble, like Detroit. If you live in Detroit right now, it's a bad bubble. If you live in some areas, it's amazing. You can't believe how good it is. Orange County, it's a weird bubble. It's a bubble. But because we work across the country, I get to hear from all different aspects of life. I get to hear from people from Arkansas, from Tennessee, from Florida, from New York. And I listen to all these things and I put the whole thing together and I'm like, oh, We're in trouble across the board. Okay, there's an occasional spot where they're killing it, but we're in trouble across the board. And this is what Jay Powell's trying to get under control. It's the recession is a formula that says we haven't increased growth over 2 quarters. I think it's 2 quarters or 3 consecutive quarters. And there's a certain thing where it has to decline for 3 consecutive quarters. And it's just a semantics thing. It doesn't really materialize what's going on with the real world. Like if you go to the grocery store, that's material. If you buy coffee right now, it's ridiculously expensive. You know what? Vegetables are expensive. Everything is freaking expensive. And that's because inflation is getting out of control. Now they're starting to get control of it a little bit, and housing is only one tiny vertical of that. One ironic section of that is employment. Employment's coming in really good, which nobody expected. It's coming in really good month after month after month.
You know what that is?
What?
That's
Government jobs, yeah.
That's mom and dad getting more jobs. They already have a job.
Yeah.
But now they're getting part-time jobs and other jobs and more jobs and more just to survive.
Yeah,
so
you and me.
The economy's not growing.
Yeah, well, you and me both see this. We're like, hey, you just got a part-time job? How come? Because I'm trying to make a living. Yeah, all the time I see people with part-time jobs across the country, not one spot, across the country.
Not more people getting jobs.
Yeah,
people
but they count it as another job. And the government is adding more jobs because it's a bullshit number when the government adds it.
Mm-hmm. Francis, they're not moving rates. It's a house of cards. He's letting it float.
Yeah. Okay.
Scotty, are the house prices going to go up when rates drop?
Scotty, I believe so. I believe they're going to have to, and the Fed doesn't want that. That's where the irony comes in on this. They don't want the house of prices to go up because you know what? 4 years ago, the average price of a house was $460,000. Today, $700,000. $700,000. I know that's hard to get your head around. It's hard for me to even say. But the average price on a house across America, taking all markets into consideration, $700,000. What?
So the average buyer would have to make $5,000 more between then and now.
Yeah.
Per month.
And they don't do it, and they just don't. So the way that they can make the housing prices come down is to keep the rates so high that the real estate experiences a correction. And what that means is you might call it a crash. They call it a correction. Crash is when it comes way too far down. But I think he's going to control it. He's going to wait till the correction starts. Yeah. I think till the correction starts, and he's going to go, all right, it's corrected enough, drop rates. But I believe, based off of the words he's saying and the overall, which he's presenting in front of Congress right now, that's what the happen is.
Yep. VR Chav, is it lower interest rate when not using FHA?
No, FHA is probably a better interest rate across the board, and it's always going to depend on your FICO score. Always depend on your FICO score. So FHA usually beats your conventional head-to-head for like 620 to 750. FHA usually beats conventional by 10 basis points, which is less than 1%. It usually beats it when you take into account your net tangible interest rate. What's your net tangible interest rate? Well, if I quoted you FHA 5.5, well, after you put in the MI, the mandatory MI of 0.55, your actual effective rate is 6.05. And if I had you quoting on a conventional with a good FICO score, you'd probably be at 6 across the board. So there's like 0.05 basis points, which is negligible. It's not nothing, but it's negligible.
Benjamin, I don't know if you're trolling us or asking an authentic question, but I'm going to be nice out the gate.
All right, be nice.
And say, they're the same thing. They're the same thing. HELOC, Home Equity Line of Credit. That's what HELOC stands for, and you're asking for a home equity loan. So they're the same thing. Guys, when you're doing a HELOC, you know what that really is? A second loan. So a lot of people say, I don't want a second on my house. I don't want a second on my house. A HELOC is a second because you have a primary loan, and then anything behind that is a second, third, fourth. A lot of times you don't go that far, but it's a second loan, okay? So, Benjamin, hope that helps. Positive Pink, do you do NYC? Do we do NYC?
We do NYC. We do all 50 states. All 50? How many 50? And Puerto Rico. We found that out. We found out we could do Puerto Rico. So, what all this means is if you're in the sales business, if you're in real estate, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a loan officer, if you're in title, if you're in escrow, things are going to get really, really, really rough still for a while. But you know where they're not going to get rough? if you're in building, if you lay concrete, if you do framing, if you do roofing, if you do anything to do with construction of houses, huge opportunity over the next 5 years.
Sweet. Screen is backwards. Okay, my left, your right. Paranoid said. Okay.
All right, yeah, you're paranoid, dude. Dude, you're paranoid. You're paranoid. If you stunk around long enough, you know it. Carlos shared the live. We appreciate you, Carlos. Critical. Followed the host. Appreciate you. Can you do a conventional loan with the down payment assistance? Trach. What? VR Chav. VR Chav, right? VR Chav, yes. Just simple, yes. Is it the best? Probably not. You're probably better off with an FHA, but I'll put it on any, because a down payment assistance program is that. It's a program, and it rides on a chassis. It rides on an FHA chassis, Fannie Mae chassis, Freddie Mac, VA, sometimes USDA. And that's only for closing costs, because USDA is zero out of the gate. So, can you do it? Yeah.
Hey, Navy Mom. How you doing?
What's up, Navy Mom? Donna, great to see you. Dude, your screen is backward. Dude, did you know our screen is backwards?
It's behind me. How could I know?
Because you're looking at it right there.
But it's not backwards.
So just so you know, 3911, it's flipped because we're live right now on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. All four. Some of them flip, some of them don't. So our solution was simple. We do one way, we do one the other way. Appreciate you.
I just let them figure it out. They'll figure it out.
I know.
Justin Webb, explain why after 08, the low interest rates for 10 years, the prices didn't explode.
John Webb, I don't know what world you were living in, but prices did explode.
They cut in half.
They got cut in half.
Initially.
Yeah. So that $500,000 house went down to $220,000. And then if you bought at $220,000 and you held on, and say you bought at $220,000 in 2010, it's worth $550,000 right now.
Way past that.
So way past that. Way past. So it did explode, John Webb. John Webb, appreciate you.
April Jones, we need help with the VA loan.
April Jones, we want to help you. We know more about the VA loan than probably anybody out there. There are some that are equivalent, but probably none that are better.
Yeah, didn't you just get a call about VA loan recently?
What? Yeah, you just got a call about VA loan.
Why did you get the call for the VA
you're gonna
loan?
love this.
Why?
I got a call from a realtor, and the realtor said, "Hey, listen, you talked to my brother a little while back," and I said, "Okay, great, that's awesome." And he goes, "Yeah, well, he tried with another lender and a different lender." Now, I talked with him 2 years ago. And he goes, "I tried with another lender and another lender, and those lenders knew nothing about the tax exemption for VA veterans that have the service connection disability. Are you sure that exists?" And I said, "Am I sure it exists? Yeah, I'm absolutely sure it exists. It exists different areas and different locations, but it absolutely exists." Well, my brother said that he only wants to work with you. So will you help him get a loan? And I'm like, in the back of my head, I was like, why did he call anybody else in the first place? You should have called me. I would have helped him. But the answer was very simple. Yes, I will help him. I will be honored to help him. And I will go the step further. After you fund the loan, wherever you fund the loan, I will give you the process on how you get the tax exemption if you're service connected. Now, here's a little catch. If you're service connected in Texas, even at 10%, you get some tax exemption. Not a bunch, but you get some. 20% more, 30% more, 40% more. So if you're service connected in California, every single county that I've done so far doesn't give you anything unless you're 100% service connected. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit different in different states, but I happen to know Texas and California.
Yeah, April Jones, thank you for the love. Time for a commercial.
Hey, if you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. You can reach your badass loan officers, Chris and Lee, at New American Funding by calling their private cell phone numbers that are listed on the screen. Or you could text us. Text is probably better because we share the text amongst each other. We help you out. Either way, give us a call. We will help you out.
Sweet. Francis says he has to learn construction then.
Yeah, Francis, I've been researching it because I'm looking at, as a loan officer, I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, business sucks. Where can I divert some of my energies and still make a whole bunch of money? And it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. We're at a deficit, and it's getting worse every single day. So I want to build a construction company. Yeah, I don't have one yet, but I want to build a construction company. I'll finance it. I want to build a construction company across the country. I follow this one loan officer who's actually doing VA one-time constructs. She built a construction company to bring in these modular manufactured. It's a weird situation. Barn dominium, But she does the one-time construct, puts the construction in there, and that's her. And I was like, that's genius. I want to do it from stick built. I want to do from ground stick built. But yes, construction is the best. Probably the next 5 to 10 years is going to be the best place to be.
Liz M, hi. Is it a good idea to get a HELOC loan to purchase another home?
Liz M, it's always math. It's always math. You have to math out how much that house is going to cost you. And can you afford it? Because you have to think, all right, we hope the rates will go down. We really do hope they will. But if they don't, you have to hold with what you got. So it's math. If it maths out, I'll give you a scenario. I'm working on one right now where the guy's building an ADU. That ADU is going to bring in $3,000 a month. What? Yeah, $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month. The HELOC is going to cost $900 a month. So if he immediately rents it out, yeah, smart move on that situation. But not all of them pencil like that.
Liz, I say this all the time, guys. I say it all the time. Buying a second house isn't just buying a second house. You're buying another home. You're going to rent one of them out. You're going to be collecting rents. You're going to be fixing problems. You're going to be filing your taxes a certain way, managing different things. You're creating a business. This is not that easy. So when you're trying to get another house, know that it comes with a lot of problems. And there's a lot of people out there that own multiple homes that are dealing with problems all the time with renters, with roof leaks, with all these different challenges that houses come with. So if you're thinking about buying a second home for yourself, that's a different story. But if you're thinking about buying a house and renting one of them, just know that that's a big boy move, and you got to do big boy things to solve those problems.
Hard us up if we're giving you good value. If we're giving you value, tap that heart button. Let everybody know that we're actually putting it out there and giving you value. This is the one spot where we'll go back and forth. We're not one boring loan officer, because I've seen this a lot. One boring loan officer going, yeah, you could do FHA with 3.5. Thank you for the hearts. If we could do FHA with 3.5. Call me. And I'm like, that's nothing. You're not giving anybody value. Anybody. You know, what we allow is some kind of friction so we can go back and forth on shit so we can answer questions. We want the haters because we're not afraid of any of it. I want the other brokers, the other loan officers to come in and challenge me. I got a few brokers in here who are pissed at me because I put something out. They're like, well, that's how you look at the world. I'm like, no, it's kind of how the world really is. And if I'm wrong, call me out in front of everybody. I welcome that. I am not afraid to be wrong. I'm not wrong often, but when I am, I will own it like that. I will own it. If I'm 100% undeniably wrong, I will own it. If not, let's make a case. And plus, kind of entertaining. You get to learn something in the process. I appreciate all the hearts coming in. Whoever's doing that, respect.
So he wants to yell and fight. I want to help you guys. I want to send you guys down the right path. I want to give you the right advice. I want to talk to you guys. I have conversations with you guys every single day about your challenges, the next steps. Some of you are getting qualified. Some of you are getting houses. But let's figure out what we can do to help every single one of you. James Shopping Bag. How do I consolidate debt in with my mortgage loan?
There's only one way to do that, James. There's only one way, and it's very difficult in this environment. And that's called a cash out refi. Cash out refi to pay off debt. That's the only way to do it. It's the only way. And interest rates on a cash out refi, they're not pretty. LTVs on a cash out refi, they are not pretty at all.
But I'll tell you what, man, we're doing one.
It can be done.
Yesterday.
No, it can't be done.
And the interest rate is way better than this guy's credit cards, than his car payment, than a lot of different things. He's consolidating $50,000.
$50,000?
And taking that payment into a third.
No shit.
And he makes great money, so he's going to be able to pay it off fast.
Okay.
Trainer, should I use a HELOC to afford a down payment?
It's always math. It's always math. So your HELOC is going to come in at a high rate. I mean, the best I've seen, 8.75. That's the best I've actually seen, 8.75. But you better have an 840 FICO to get 8.75. Seen that recently.
Yeah.
But most of them are 12, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you pull that money out, you're going to have to pay it back.
Mm-hmm. And that's not a question for us, guys. Yeah. For good, bad doesn't exist. Should I, shouldn't I doesn't exist. Do you have the courage to bet on yourself? Because like I told the person up top, this is a business. This is a business. And this is something you're going to run. This is something you're going to be responsible for. And if you're going to take that money, it's your risk.
Daddy Chris.
So if you're going to take it to the next level, that's on you.
Dude, Daddy Chris is in the house. Daddy, don't give it out, Daddy. Don't call me Daddy. You're doing daddy expressions
here. There's only
here.
a couple girls in this world that can call me Daddy, and you are not one of them.
A couple of them? I don't want to know. I don't want to know, man.
So
I
should
hope
you?
they're not watching because they're gonna be like, "What do you mean a couple?"
So should you? It's up to you. Figure it out. And if you want
April
to, give us a
Jones,
call.
we hope your hubby gives us a call. We would love to help him.
Oh, shoot, I lost it.
Yeah, we're trying to answer. We're going to answer all of your questions. So I appreciate you guys showing up. I have been watching Jay Powell. If you have a different opinion on Jay Powell's speech, because it's out there, man. He's out there live in front of Congress right now. He was in front of the Senate. And the stuff he's talking is like, hey, yeah, we got good control of the economy. We got you. But if you decipher it, he's like, yeah, I'm not dropping interest rates for a long time. Yeah, we're not. Things aren't coming in.
Gabe Craig, I got a 780 credit score, and I live in Miami or Minnesota. What is that?
I think it's Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, how much do you think I could get on an FHA assistance?
Oh, yeah. Gabe Craig. I
4
hate
billion?
to say this. Yeah, I think trillion.
4 trillion.
Yeah, 4 trillion. Yeah, 4 trillion. 780 FICO is a start.
That's a
that
great
tells
start,
me it's
though.
by the way, that is a bang up start. That's like walking in and go, hey girls, I got a badass bicep. Want to marry me? You need more.
You got one
It's
of
a
the
good
3
start.
things they want.
It's a good start. It's a good start. So the next thing is, do you have income? Are you gonna be able to pay the rent? Because you didn't give me no income. Are you gonna be able to pay the rent? All right, cool. You got good income? All right. How about assets? You better have something. You better have something. And if you're looking for down payment assistance, yeah, you better have really good income because you only have 2 of the 3 verticals that we're looking for. We are looking for great credit. You already have that. You're flexing. You're like, hey, this is my muscle. Yes, great credit. No doubt about it. You're in the top percent. Good for you. But we need the other 2. We need income and we need assets. After we have that, we decide whether or not it's a good program.
He's in Michigan. He told me he's in Michigan.
Cool.
Okay. Who we got? Stephanie, thank you for the love. Gabe Craig, thank you for the love. Do you know about USDA loans in Texas?
I know.
Scalpalot?
Scapalot. That's like Lancelot.
SS Lap a lot. I don't know.
I like Lancelot and Scapalot. Mix-a-lot. I love Mix-a-lot, man. I like Mix-a-lot. I like
We all
Mix-a-lot.
do.
Yeah. Everybody does. Everybody knows that. Oh, wow.
We all
So
do.
I heard this thing where one of the religions says, I like more men, boys, and I cannot lie. I was sitting there laughing going, oh, my God. It rephrased it. It's weird. Anyway, back to USDA loans. Yes, we know all about USDA loans. You know who the expert is? I'm not going to say who the expert is. But somebody just went through extra courses, got extra certificates in order to deal with a one-time construct USDA loan. Like there's not even a house there. You got to go find the land, find the contractor, figure out how to build it. Then we're going to get you the loan so you can build that dream home USDA. Other than that, the regular USDA loans, we use what's called the GUS underwriting system. Yes, the difference between a USDA and FHA is on an FHA, I qualify the borrower first. I say, hey, borrower, send me all your docs in. On USDA, I qualify the property first because not all properties qualify for USDA. Zero down, though. Zero down.
Yeah, thank you for those hearts, guys.
Dude, he says relax.
Danny told you to relax, man.
Danny, I don't know how to relax, man. I don't know how. I'll relax when I hit the grave.
Melissa Barbosa, what about USDA loans as a second home option?
Melissa,
That's a good
trying
thought.
to flex. It's
That's
a very good thought.
thought.
Yeah, it's a cute thought. It's cute. It's nice. It's pretty. Probably not, though. Probably not.
But why?
Well, because, first off, USDA has to be your primary residence. Primary? Primary. It cannot be your rental portfolio. It cannot be, I'm such a big baller, I want a second home somewhere like Aspen, Colorado.
With zero down.
With zero down. So, USDA is great. Thank you for the hearts. Whoever's doing that, respect to the heart giver.
Probably one of our ambassadors.
Respect. So, USDA is for your primary residence, and it's in rural areas. It's not in populated areas. You're not going to go to Miami and find a USDA loan. Los Angeles. Not going to find one you're not going to find one in Dallas, Texas. You're not going to find USDA loans there until you get on the outskirts of these. And the USDA says we need people living in this very rural area. Why don't we incentivize them to move out by letting them get in with zero down? That's VA.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, USDA.
Lisa, my husband and I do home renovations and have helped a lot of people fix and flip. How can I do it? Well, you can fix them.
First off, if you're helping them fix and flip, you're already in it. You're deep in it. because it's not none of this stuff is simple. None of it is simple. Not even one piece of it is simple. If you've actually built something, I'm building one right now. I'm building an ADU. I am constantly with the city, with the contractors, and all kinds of things that you would never even think about. Never even think about. So it's very, very difficult. So if you're going to buy a fix and flip, first off, you have to find a property that's way below market value, because you're going to put money to fix it and then flip it. So that is a business venture. Now, I know there's these Chuck and Joanna Gaines out there, respect to them. They're out in Texas. There's a whole bunch of property brothers and all these people who are like, hey, I'm going to buy this house and flip. That's TV. That's not real world. That's not how it happens in the real world. Talk with the realtors out there and they're going to tell you that's not how it happens in the real world. I know those shows make it, they're like, hey, yeah, I'm looking at these $1.1 million neighborhoods. I'm hoping to find something for about $150,000 that I can flip, put, maybe 20 grand into, and then flip it for 1.1 million and walk away with 900 grand. No, it doesn't exist like that. The flippers are businessmen, and they walk in with the money and they understand, I need to buy this for this. I need to get my infrastructure of people that know how to do this. This is the kind like you're doing. I need someone who can come in and fix the walls, paint it, put a new roof on it, put insulation, whatever they have to do. And it's going to cost me X. And I have to do this within 4 months, because after 4 months, the whole thing doesn't make profit anymore. And then I have to sell it fair market value within those 4 months. It's a business. And it's a very good business if you know how to do it.
And Lisa, you have the upper hand advantage. You have the upper hand advantage because you know the cost of the services that are needed to renovate a house.
Yeah.
You can do it at cost. You don't have to pay anyone to do the work for you. You can actually do it yourself. So you do have an advantage. But know that it's going to be usually your first one is either you have good income and you can apply for a loan and you're taking a little bit of risk because you have to pay that loan back, or many of them start with their own cash. So if either one of those things will make it work, Lisa, call us. We can help you. Alex, will an asset of mine help qualify for a home loan?
Alex, got good news for you and pretty bad news, okay? So if your asset is like a Ferrari, no. If it's like a really good set of teeth and you're like smiling, no. If your asset is $500,000 in a 401k, maybe. 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 If it's $500,000 in a 401k, maybe. And in that case, so here's a real story. Real story. One of my good friends, one of our good friends, realtor, like goes to Vegas all the time, good, decent realtor, like $100,000 a year realtor, good realtor. And then like goes to Vegas and one day calls and says, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm a multimillionaire. And I'm like,
true story?
Yeah, I know it's a true story. And I'm like, what do you mean multimillionaire? And he's like, I just want a couple $1 million. I'm like, get out of here. He's like, no, really, I just want a couple $1 million. And I was like, you want a couple of $1 million? Yeah, a couple $1 million.
Sober phone call, by the way.
Sober phone call.
Always drunk.
No, right?
Usually always drunk. Sober phone call.
So we're like, no, that's bullshit. You believe
6
it?
a.m.
I don't believe
6
it.
a.m.
I don't believe it. You believe it? I don't believe it. Yeah. Okay, anyway, want a couple $1 million. Calls me, been in finance for a long time. What should I do? And I said, first thing you need to know is you didn't win a couple $1 million. You and the IRS want a couple $1 million. You're a millionaire, but so's the IRS.
And they're
you're
happy.
Like, and like, what do you mean? Why are they going to tax it? They didn't do anything. I was like, yeah, that's how the IRS works. After he called the CPA, the accountant, he's like, yeah, you're right. I got over $1 million, but they got over $1 million too. Okay, cool. So now he's like, hey, I'm a millionaire. I want to buy $1 million house. I'm like, yeah, here's the problem. The problem is that you've made $100,000 a year for the last 10 years. Yeah, but I'm a millionaire. Yeah, you can either write a check or I got to qualify you on $100,000 a year for the last 10 years. And he's like, but I'm a millionaire. And I was like, yeah, I get what you're telling me. You don't have to tell me 3 times. I get it. If you want to write a check and get rid of all that $1 million and you own a house, you got a house. But that asset doesn't mean nothing unless I do something. And he goes, what's that, Lee? And I said, I am going to create a SPIA. A SPIA is a single premium immediate annuity. So we're going to take $500,000 and we're going to take it in your left pocket. We're going to put all $500,000 in your left pocket. But here's the catch. Can't touch it anymore. Can't touch it. Nope. And for the next 5 years, you are going to get that money back. And it's going to go from your left pocket to your right pocket. So that $500,000 is going to come back at you at $8,000 a month for the next 5 years. but you can't get it out. And I've created a stream of income. And that's called a depleting asset. Depleting, not depreciating, depleting asset. And the guideline says if I can prove that it's going for 3 years or more, I can use it as income. Now, there is a little bit of underwriter discretion, but I just wrote an LOE and I said, hey, here's what happened. Here's what's going on. Here's the real estate market value that's going up, and this is a great house, and it's not going to go away. And he's putting 10% down, I think 10 or 20% down. He's putting a lot of money down, but he still needs the loan. Underwriter saw it the way I saw it, and we're able to use that asset. That's how assets help you.
That's one way. Stephanie, credit, $650, give or take. Have an FHA loan for 8 years now. I'm ready to move on, self-employed also. Where do I start?
Real simple. You call the best loan officer in the business. Is that you or me?
There's 2 of them.
Okay, there's 2 of them. You call one of the 2 best loan officers in the business. That is Chris Dominguez. His phone number's right there. You better screenshot it. It's going to go away. I am Lee Duran. My phone number's right there. It's going to go away. And for legal purposes, my NMLS is 944-254. His is?
1066958.
He did it. Cool.
James Shopping Bag. Thank you. You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Nicholas.
Tap, cabronis. Nicholas. Big ups, man. Props, respect, whatever your vernacular is, whatever generation you're from, you lit.
Yeah.
Is that the new
He
one?
called you guys cabrones.
Cabronis, you lit.
Sauce, 831, Scapalot, Cynthia, thank you for the love. Liz M, thank you for the good advice. You're welcome.
We are here for you, Liz.
Nithya, any thoughts on primary residence, HELOC driven by business statements income?
You take that. I've been talking for a long time.
Yeah, I know. So when you talk about business statements income, does that income flow through to your personal somehow, some way? Is it a LLC? Is it a S Corp? Like what type of income are we talking about? Or is it self-employed where you just happen to deposit monies into another account? If it is any one of those, yes, you can actually use that to help you with your HELOC. It's a very easy process. Now, when you're doing a HELOC, there's a couple different factors that's going to stop you guys. A couple different factors. One is FICO. If you have less than a 680, very difficult, okay? We have a couple different systems. I want to share this with you. A couple different systems. One is super easy, okay? If you have good credit, if you have great income, if you haven't had a lot of challenges in your past, I have a system that'll get you approved in probably 5 minutes. Take you about 2 minutes to answer some questions and another 2 minutes to figure out what program you want to go with because it'll give you instant options, okay? Now, a lot of my clients go that route because I recommend it. It's the easiest. It's the best. But some of them don't get qualified out the gate. Why? Because they might have had a little bit of challenge, maybe a hiccup on their credit. If that's the case, I have another avenue to send you down. And many get qualified this way when they don't get qualified the first way. The reason why the second way is a little bit of a pain in the ass is because you have to give me your income documents, give me this document, send this in, what's your taxes, explain this. It's a longer process.
We call it a full doc loan, by the way.
Yeah, but if the first one doesn't work, likely the second one will. So if you've been turned down, guys, if someone said you can't get a HELOC, call us. We'll help you out with that process. So Nivea, hope that helps. Yes, we can do that. Give us a call. Gabe, Craig, Michigan. Yep, we got that already. User 7387, make 90K, no debt, and 805 FICO. What can I qualify for?
So let me tell you something. With that 805 FICO, that gives you way more latitude than most people. So most people with that, I would say 90K, 350 to 380. Would you go with that?
I'll go 400.
You go 400? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but with that 805 FICO, shoot, I'll push you from 380 to 420, 430. You think so? Yeah. 430, maybe 440, depending on your property tax base and a few other things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that 805, you have to earn that 805. Mm-hmm. Cool. What do you got?
Ivancita, LMV. My husband has a 576 credit, one collection of $3,000. We are looking to purchase a home. Cool.
Yeah, Ivanka, LMV, I got some bad news for you. Some pretty bad news. Ivancita. I want to help you. That's the good news. I want to help you. He wants to help you. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. 576, nobody's going to qualify. I don't think you'll get qualified for anything. And I know this because we try them. We try. At 576 FICO, that is too low. Why? Because you earned that 576 FICO. Whatever you did in your past, somebody trusted you with your husband. Your husband. I don't want to shoot at
Mr. Ivancita.
But there's good news at the end of this. We're going to help you. So, if whatever you took out money FICOs are very simple and straightforward. Hey, I'm going to lend you X. You pay me back every month. As long as you do that, I report good. Your FICO goes up. That's how it works. If you don't pay back for whatever reason, they don't care. They don't care if you had lost your job or the cat died or, the dog got pregnant. They don't care about any of that stuff. Did you pay it on time? That's it. If you didn't pay it on time, your FICO score goes down, and it shows for 10 years. 10 years. 7 in most cases, but 10. 10 years. Yep, 10 years. So when you go to a bank and you go, hey, trust me, bro, I want to borrow $500,000. Trust me, bro, I'm good for it. One of the first things they'll do is they'll pull your credit. And they'll go, okay, cool. How did you pay everybody back that trusted you? And they'll look and you'll go, oh, yeah, looks like you're being collected on. You haven't paid this guy. You're late on this. You're late on that. And you want us to lend you money? No.
Now, Ivancita, there's a small window. Small window. Small window. Not a big window. Not a likelihood. Not a high probability. But if you have a larger than minimum down payment, you might have a shot. You might have a shot.
Maybe.
But give us a call. Let's have a conversation.
And Ivancita, we will teach you how to fix it. I'll pull your credit. I'll actually show you what you're looking at. I'll say, hey, here's the problems. These are the real problems. And if you say, well, that's bullshit. That was, okay, cool. Prove it to me. If you prove it to me, I will fight the credit agencies on your behalf and get it fixed. If not, go call the guy that you borrowed $5,000 from and enter into an agreement to pay him back and tell him to report it well. And with that, we can get your FICO score up, and then we can get you something. But until you do that, you're going to hear this from everybody. Worse than that. You're going to go to a loan officer. They're going to go, oh, sure, let me get all your data and information. They're going to pull your credit. They're going to, sorry, you don't qualify. Maybe later. Have a good day. And you're toast. Or they'll ghost you. They just won't call you anymore. I don't know what happened. My loan officer just stopped calling me because you weren't qualified and they didn't give you a plan to get fixed. Call us.
Alexandra Martinez, any tips on how to increase my credit score? Alex, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. Everybody pay attention.
Okay.
Every one of you.
We're going to give you the hack. The big hack. The hack that nobody wants you to know, but we're going to tell you. This is the credit hack. It's the ultimate credit hack. Okay, so what happens? So your credit score is based off of like 5 different variables. Did you pay your bills on time? Okay, that's 35% of it. What's your credit load? That's 30% of it. And your history of on-time payments is 15%. That's a big number. It's bigger than you think it is. So the easy way to get a very high FICO score or a spike is to have a 10-year history. Well, wait a minute. How do I start from right now, which is, what's the date? July 10th. July 10th. How do I start today and have a 10-year history? Credit has no memory. Oh, what does that mean? Sounds all cryptic and shit. Yeah, it kind of is cryptic and shit. So here's what you do. You go to mom and dad and you say, hey, mother of mine, father of mine, you know that you really, really love your son and you've been paying your bills on time for a long time because you're at that age where you pay the bills on time. And they say, well, yes, son, I do love you and I have been paying my bills on time. Which point? You say, can you add me to one of your credit cards as an owner or authorized user? Why would I do that, son? Well, because your ever-loving son needs a 60-point jump in credit. Not like 5 or 10, 60. Your ever-loving son needs a 60-point jump. And I can get that by you adding me as an owner or authorized user on your credit card. What are you going to do with that credit card when you get it? Oh, nothing. I'm going to give it to you. You can shred it. I'll never use that credit. I won't even know the number. I don't care. But I do want that 10 years of history that's going to show up the minute I'm on that credit card. And that's going to spike my score. I've seen as high as 60. How high as you've seen?
20 to 60 points. Yep. It fluctuates in that range.
Yep.
So that'll give you a temporary spike, guys, because if you get taken off that card, guess what happens to your credit?
Yeah, it drops. Yeah.
But to maintain great credit, pay your credit cards down. Pay your credit cards down. Yep. If you don't have credit cards and you have crap credit, go to the link in the bio and select apply for a... No.
You called them crap credit?
That's apply for a home loan. Fix my credit. Yeah. If you have crappy credit, go to the link in the bio and hit the button that says fix my credit and fix that credit, guys. User 7387 said have to put $100K down. I think he's talking to Ivancita.
Yeah.
About having a low FICO score, 576, I thought it was. It doesn't necessarily have to be $100 grand. Maybe it does, but it definitely has to be more than 3.5%.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has to be 10%. It all depends on your
Because usually
scenario.
the next question behind that is, hey, I have a low FICO score. Can I get qualified? Maybe. How about with zero down?
Ivancita, we are live 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, Monday to Friday, most of the time. Sometimes we have an off day. But 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. Pacific time every single day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes we do an evening, sometimes we'll do a weekend. Don't count on those, but count on the Mondays through Fridays, okay? Gabe Craig, yes sir. I've been in the union for the past year making about 50 G's and have a written contract that says I'll be making $50 plus an hour in 3 years.
That's badass, Gabe Craig. That $50 an hour is more than 50 G's. $50 an hour
You're
is
at
way
100
more than
grand.
50 G's.
Yeah.
So, good for you. Good for you. I want to help you get that house. If you're in the union, what union? Plumbers union, electricians union, carpenters union, what union? I don't know the numbers, but I know the work that these people do, man. I have monster respect for the people that are in the trades, because that's hard shit,
Maybe
man.
he's in a credit union.
That's, yeah.
I
Not a
doubt
lot of,
it.
yeah,
I
not
doubt
a lot of respect
Not
for those
at
guys. Yeah.
$50 an hour.
Yeah.
You're doing a real trade. Cynthia, I love your energy.
I appreciate you,
Awesome.
Cynthia.
This green, what are those, green ducks? What do you know about C8 residency status? Can I get an FHA loan? You know about C8? I think you do.
Okay, so there are, if everything is done by the numbers and you are a resident, you're paying your taxes and everything is good, I can probably get you a loan. I'm going to give you one that's a little bit different that I didn't think I could do, but I was able to pull off anyway. I have this client who came in from India, and Google hired him because they're a high-level engineer. And they came in with this special visa. And I said, okay, cool. Do you want to apply for United States citizenship? She said, no, I don't even want to imply that I want to apply. I'm here for 5 years, and then I'm going back to India. I want to know if I can buy a house. And I was like, I want to know if you can buy a house too. So, all right, cool. I actually put that visa in with underwriting, and I could qualify him for every loan out there. I couldn't believe it. Because there's a piece of paper saying that Google sponsored them. They actually had the right visa. Everything was in line. They had their credit score. And as long as everything was by the numbers, I got him into a house, even declaring with like 5% down, declaring, I don't want to be a U.S. citizen. I'm not trying to be a U.S. citizen. I'm in no way representing. And she was very clear to me on that. She's like, hey, I'm moving back to India. I don't want to be here. I'm here because Google paid me a lot of money. I'd like to buy a house while I'm here. Didn't hurt that she was starting salary 180 grand a year, but I was sitting there going, I can do this. I don't get a lot of those loans, but that one like floored me. And I funded the loan, and I said, hey, I can't tell you how happy I am. She's an engineer. She's just like, I'm happy too, Lee. You did a good job. Thank you. Bye. That was it.
Yeah, C8 seems to be a good one. It seems like it's a recommended approval.
Yep.
Seems like a pretty strong, so I think the probability is pretty high.
Yeah, pretty
Melissa
high.
Barbosa, my house is paid off, though. Could I rent my primary?
Yes. Okay, so that's the USDA loan, I think. Cynthia, if you are the USDA loan question that says, hey, I'd like to rent my primary residence and go into a new primary residence, the answer to that is very simply, yeah, probably. Probably yeah.
Cynthia said it's like a yin and yang here. Awesome.
All right.
Denny, thank you for the love. Brian, thank you for the love. Lana, hi, looking to refi my second TD construction loan. What's the range for rates on that?
If you're looking for a construction loan, Lana, you are Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. Lana, you got to get rid of the Wells Fargo Home Mortgage behind your name, or else we know you're a loan officer. So, yeah, good, nice, very nice. Anyway, we don't do construction loans, and can't help you with that. Sorry.
But you could probably call Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
Annie, how did you both get into this career field?
I've been in finance for 30 years. I originally started as a stockbroker. Then we became a financial planner for a while. And when we saw the void in the mortgage lending market, I don't know if you know this, but like 80% of the loan officers could not qualify after the Dodd-Frank Act because they had moral turpitude, they couldn't pass the test, or the FBI background check. So 80% of them disappeared, and I was like, hey, this might be a really good industry. And we stopped doing financial stuff, and we just went straight into mortgages all the way. So,
okay, I'm gonna reread this. She said that she's looking to refi her second construction loan. meaning going to traditional financing.
Oh.
I think that's what she's saying. Lana, clear that up for us.
Yeah, clear it up.
Because we don't do construction, but we can turn construction
And I'm not
into a
shooting
normal.
at you. If you're a loan officer, I appreciate you being here. Really, I do. I want you to be here. I like them from all over the place, whether you're good, if you're brand new. If you're brand new, sit down, you'll learn a lot.
Yep. Kyle Biggs, how do I transfer 2 rental properties into my name to LLC? From my name to LLC.
Kyle, most of that is just what's called a quit claim deed. Quit claim deed. I don't help you with any of that stuff. I don't deal with that. I don't advise on it. I will tell you that most loans have something called a due on sale clause. That if you transfer it from my name, which is Lee Duran, to Lee Duran LLC, which has a different EAN number, even though it's my name, and even though I own it, the bank says, no, we want all our money right now. It's called a due on sale clause.
TJ's, ooh, 5. Can you get a USDA loan if you already have an FHA loan?
Very good question, TJ. Case by case. Very strange, but case by case. Here's why. The 3 big government programs are VA, FHA, and USDA. Those are 3 big ones. These are one called GSEs, called Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but FHA, VA, USDA. It's all one place, the government. So if you went to government and you said, hey, Mr. Government, I'd really like for you to help me get a house. I took on a southern accent for that. I'd like for you to help me get a house. And they say, you know what, we will help you.
Sounds Creole.
Pedestrian?
Sounds very Creole.
Citizen?
Like in make shrimp.
All right. Yeah. So we will help you, pedestrian citizen. We will help you with 3.5% FHA loan. You're like, thank you, Mr. Government. I appreciate it. I'm going to live in that. I'm going to live in that. And you're like, hey, I got a plan. I'm going to build me an investment portfolio. Hey, Mr. Government, I'd like to get me another private residence. They're like, we already helped you. Yeah, but I really want one. But we already helped you. But I really, really want one? Yeah. No, we're not going to do it. Okay, so let's change that scenario again. Hey, Mr. Government, you helped me get a house in California. I really appreciate you, but my job moved me to Florida. Can you prove it? Yeah. All right.
Lucky.
I'd really like for you to help me, Mr. Government, with a USDA loan. I really would like for you to help me with a USDA loan in Florida. Can you prove that your job moved you? Yeah. All right, cool. Is it over 100 miles? Yeah. We could probably do that. Yeah, we could probably do that. We could probably even do another FHA loan if you want. We might be able to do a VA loan if you're a veteran. So you have to look at the backbone of all of this. It's the government. It's the government. There are different programs, but it's still the government. They're not there to help you build a real estate portfolio. You're not going to say, hey, I bought this FHA loan and about 3 blocks away, I got this other house that I got to get a deal on. They don't give a shit. They're like, well, I had to move from one house to another house because the commute was shorter by 3 blocks. The government, the FHA, they're going to go, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Raj Vinder in the house.
What's up, Raj Vinder? One of my favorites.
Yeah, all right, dude, we got a rapid fire.
It can't be a rapid fire. No, we're not rapid fire. We're not at rapid
dude,
fire.
We have too many people that need help that have questions.
We got to help them.
Too many people. Elite Joshua wants to gossip, though, man.
Okay,
This is
cool.
like a soap opera for him. He said, please explain the lotto winner a little more. Did he buy the house today or did he have to wait 3 years?
Oh, yes, he bought it. Okay, yeah. He said, Elite Joshua. Yes, we got the SPIA, single premium immediate annuity. And he lives in a $1.5 million house now. Big ass pool, big ass house, big beautiful house. And he says, I think I bought too much house. Like real true story. He's like, dude, yeah, if you have a big house, there's a lot of work with it and a lot of maintenance that goes with it. And the truth is, yeah, he bought the house. He bought the house. Yes.
Yeah, I like that you're watching this soap opera.
I appreciate
Joshua.
you. Yeah.
That's awesome. Brian Anthony, rapid fire. I make $300,000, 630 credit, but made late payments, got turned down.
Brian Anthony, if you called me or Chris, we would send you what's called a TBD underwrite. TBD underwrite means we would take that $300,000 a year and that 630 FICO, and we'd send you to underwriting before you went shopping. And then we get you qualified, and you are good as gold. That's it. You're qualified. We might even put you into NAFCAsh, which means you would be able to operate like you're holding $500,000 in cash to buy that house. Boom. Wow, boom, like that.
Joshua, I have high yield savings paying almost $2,000 a month. Does that count?
No, because you can pull it out at any point. If we can stop that income just because you wanted a Ferrari, then we'll use it.
Okay, and I make $30K per year and 600 credit. Can I buy a $1 million house?
And you are gaming us, but it's not going to go anywhere. So,
Frame God, I got 60K cash and a 690 score.
that's pretty good. We don't have the income criteria.
2 to 3?
Yeah.
2 to 3?
Remember, every loan, 3 legs: credit, income, assets. When I know all 3 of them, I can tell you.
You're very welcome, Ivancita. House Xavier Appraiser, maybe? 657 credit score, clean credit history.
All right, good for you.
You can buy a house.
Yeah.
T-Boss, do both homeowners have to sign for a HELOC? No, they do not. Only
Wow,
one.
see how fast he was with that? Did you see how
Only
fast he
one.
was with that?
T-Boss, here's your answer. Ryan, should I put as much down as possible or 20% and keep the rest in a HYSA?
Home yield savings account? I don't know what an HYSA is. HYSA. Should I put as much down as possible? Hey, Ryan, it's a mathematical equation. Because if you put 20% down, then you're not going to have MI on your Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. But it may not be the best case because if the interest rates do go down over the next 3 years. Now, bear in mind, I said the Fed is coming out and he's saying he's probably not going to reduce interest rates. But 3 years is a long time. He can make that crash happen within 9 months. I believe he will make it happen within 9 months. But 3 years is a long time. The Fed is predicting that the federal funds rate will be at 2.5%, which means interest rates should go down 300 basis points in the next 3 to 4 years. If that's the case, you're going to want to refinance.
Yep. There you go, Ryan. Rajvinder, Josie, Miss Culver, Rajvinder, Cutie Pie, thank you all for the love.
Appreciate you.
Sweet Pumpkin, if they delete after it is all still B high score. If they delete after, is it still B high score?
No, you're talking about the credit increase. If they take you off the credit card and they delete you from the credit card, no, you drop fast.
You'll go back to wherever you were.
Wherever you were. You won't go like bounce and hurt. You just go back wherever you started at 680 and you went to 780, or you go back down to 680. That's it.
Yep. 8149. Hi, I'm a licensed agent. I recently have 3 meetings this coming to potential close my first deal.
Congratulations, user 814. Reach out to us.
Welcome
we
to
like
the game.
We will help you grow your career.
Yeah.
We will help you.
Hey guys, agents often call us after the live, so if you guys are interested in teaming up, give us a call.
Sheet metal worker, dude. Sheet metal.
Hey.
Appreciate you. That's
Great.
the union guy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, sheet metal workers. That's badass. That's hard work, man.
The glove's dirty. Level up mindset. In what scenario would you be able to get 2 homes owner-occupied loans within 1 year?
Very few scenarios. Well, no, that's not true.
Be married,
that's
have
not
your
true.
wife buy one, you buy one?
Yeah, that would work.
Don't like each other, so you buy different houses?
Yeah, or you're a doctor. He's a nurse. See what I did? You see what I did there?
He's a
yeah,
nurse.
you're a doctor. He's a nurser, and you guys
We
live
know
in.
who runs that
and
relationship.
you guys live in different cities. You can both get a owner-occupied
Yeah,
loan.
actually,
Yeah.
we've done one specific line. Okay. Becca, if you're under contract and got a conditional approval, is there a good chance of final approval?
Yeah, usually, well, the big catchword in that is conditional approval, because the condition could be, I got to prove that you got $70,000 to put cash down, and if you never proved it, that's a condition. And if you can't if you can't meet that condition, that loan's dead. So conditional approval, condition is the catch. The next thing I say is, what are the conditions? Once I know the conditions, I can tell you.
Dude, Lana said work from home mom, not Wells Fargo home mortgage.
Oh, shit.
Lana, see?
Lana just slapped me in the head, put me back in my place. She's like, sit down, Mr. Talker.
Mr. Talker. I lost it again.
Dude, don't lose it.
Keep us entertained while I find it.
All right, I'm trying to keep us entertained here, Lana.
I found it.
Okay, hello.
Mandy Pandy, we are under contract. I am worried that my husband has bank account but rarely uses it.
Oh, if you're hiding things from the underwriter, that's not a good start. That's a horrible start, because sometimes they catch it. A lot of times they catch it in weird ways, man.
But
they catch things
Mandy.
so weird.
You have a conditional approval. They should have told you what the conditions are.
Yep.
If you can get those conditions and fulfill them, you'll be fine.
Yep. Heather Pierce followed the host. We appreciate
Thank
you,
you for the
Carolina.
love.
Sunrise followed the host.
Thank you for the love.
50K a year, 5K credit card debt. How much should I plan on having available for closing? Going to depend on your purchase price and where you buy it. Where you buy it, because property tax based. The property taxes are impound into your closing costs, and that's the biggest portion of your closing costs. That is non-negotiable. It must be negotiated, or it must be impounded in, and that can be a lot. So wide number, $6,000 to $15,000.
Shannon, here's what I'm going to recommend. Let us pre-qualify you. Let you know exactly where you stand, how much money you're actually going to need. It doesn't cost you anything, doesn't impact you negatively, but you'll have all the facts. If you're interested in getting a home loan, go to the link in the bio, select apply for a home loan now, get the process started as we speak.
JR, I make $120K, brother make 85. We have no debt. Can we get approved for $700,000 house? 200 G's, what would you say?
Oh yeah, dude, yeah.
200 G's, 200 G's?
You could probably hit that with 160.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, you're probably 850.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're probably 850,000 as long as you guys got decent credit, not even great credit, just decent credit. $850,000.
You know what, dude? Doing these loans across the nation, I'm very happy with California's property tax rate. Very happy.
Me too.
You can get way
I hate
more
to say
house
it. Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. It's expensive. It's more expensive, but you can
Yeah.
get more house. Vincent Miramontes, $65K a year, 690 credit score, wanting FHA. How much house and down payment?
So 65K a year, 65.
Yep.
You're going to be cracking 310, 320, maybe 330, but it's going to depend on a few things. That 690 does not do you any favors, even though it sounds kind of good. It's not really that good because your MI is going to be expensive. It'll force me into an FHA.
And he has 700 monthly debt.
Oh, that hurts you too.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere from 280 to 320, 330, somewhere in that range.
Expect about $10,000 down payment in that
Yep.
range. Lemon Drop Guy, I make 120K, no debt, 25K down, 800 plus credit score. What can I do?
Lemon Drop, you can do anything you want to, man. With that
Basically.
800 FICO score,
Basically.
with that 800 FICO score, you could do anything you want. And you start looking at the houses. I'd start at $500,000 and go up from there, unless you think that payment's gonna be too much. But you qualify for $500,000.
Cash is king. Trying to tell people what to do. He's one of those. Don't buy houses, y'all, too much. Wait till rates come down. Don't listen to these guys.
Oh, Cash is king. Cash is king. We love
tell
you,
people
man.
what to do.
We love you. We love you. Why are you coming out here?
That's what the government does.
Why you coming and hating on me, man?
Beautiful
You're throwing
dude.
shade.
Oh, that's a cool word. Beautiful 222. What's your opinion on buying a mobile home?
I prefer not to, and I usually recommend people not to. It's cheaper, so people say, hey, I'm going to do it. But they almost always land up regretting it. I've never seen one person go, hey, I'm really glad I bought that. They're like,
I have.
have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
they actually called me and gave me a lead the other day. One of their friends wants to buy one.
But no, mobile home on a permanent foundation is what you're saying.
I'm thinking manufactured home on a permanent
yes,
foundation.
yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Mobile home,
Fair enough.
yeah, because people buy the mobile homes because you can get them for 20 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand or whatever, put it in a park. And they're like, hey, I got a house. Can I borrow on it? You're like, no, you don't have a house. You got something on wheels that can be driven away with a truck. Yeah, they're usually not happy with it.
Dude, Ryan's clearing it all up for you. Thanks, guys. HISA, high yield savings account. All right, cool. Tony G, 180K. Another ballers in here today. 1,800.
Dude, what do you do for a living, Tony G?
720 score. How much can we get?
Dude,
Yeah,
what do you
Tony G.
do? What do you do
is
for
your
Tony
profession?
G? Yeah.
What company are you working with?
Dude, I did this loan for a person at Home Depot. $300,000 base. 300. You were there. You saw $300,000 base salary plus bonuses. I'm like, what the hell do you do for Home Depot? She's like, well, I'm kind of one of the top guys. I'm like, 300,000. That's a hell of a. Yeah. Anyway, 180 G's. You can buy whatever you want, man. You're cracking 750 to 850 just without even moving.
Boom.
Yeah.
Mandy Pandy. Do we know Mandy Pandy?
I think so.
He cash his checks and pays most bills in cash. That's why.
Mandy, we got to fix that. We got to fix that. And the next thing you're going to go is, why don't you have a bank account? Because they're like, hey, can I get a loan with no bank account? You're like, hey, you want to use the system, but you don't use the system. The system doesn't really think fondly of that.
Certain bits and pieces I want to use.
Yeah.
Picks a blue 4, 740 credit score, but student loan debt.
Yeah, we just factor in the student loan debt. We're able to make it work, even though.
Ooh, cold blood trades.
Cold blood trades. Never
like
pay
that.
these guys or real estate agents. Dude, that's cold, man.
You don't have to.
That's cold blood.
Dude, he's ice cold.
He's ice cold, man. Ice cold.
Tony
Ice
G does
cold.
sales.
Sales.
That's why he's a baller.
Tony G.
User 8886. How long is financing a car? Can I start looking into buying a home?
Like, the second you sign the documents and the ink's not
Drive
even
to our
dry,
office.
it's not even dry yet, you move your finger across and it'll smudge because you got like 10 seconds before it dries. You can apply right now.
Press the brake, press the auto start, and drive to our office.
Right now.
Junior,
Dude,
don't
he
buy
got auto start? Isn't that
They don't
fancy?
sell cars that don't have that anymore. What car doesn't have that? I can't name one, but I'm sure they exist. Junior, don't buy a manufactured home. My aunt is breaking down floor, roof, and walls.
Yep. Yeah, there's problems.
But there's problems in stick builds too.
Yeah, there's
if
problems in stick builds.
The prior owner didn't take care of it. If you don't take care of it, it'll go to shit.
Yeah.
It'll go to shit.
My mortgage rate is 2.5 cents. No way am I selling right now.
Julie
Mo. I agree with you.
Yeah.
2.5%. That's a lot of people are actually stuck in their house. They're locked because they can't get out. They can't buy another house. They can't refinance. They can't. That 2.5% rate sounds amazing, and it is, but it's golden handcuffs. Dude, you're locked.
Tony G's selling concrete.
Concrete? You're selling concrete?
We just said that. That's where the industry is going.
That
the
concrete.
money.
You guys are. That's something special, man. Have you worked with concrete?
Oh my god.
I have. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
One, it's expensive. I've actually poured it.
Oh my god.
Okay, so get this. Real quick story. I know we're at crunch time, but real quick, you don't have to go yet, right?
No.
Okay. Real quick story. Being the genius I am, I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to put about, let's call it 10 feet by 60 feet concrete pad. All right, cool. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and buy me a concrete mixer. And I got a truck. So I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy concrete. Well, first off, I didn't know the difference between 2,000 PSI and 4,000 PSI. But I found out. So I bought 4,000 PSI. Okay, cool. So, so I went through this and I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? We're able to, thank you. I'm able to do these a piece at a time. So I'm going to do it every weekend. I'm going to do one of the pads. And I'm like, all right, cool. How many bags? 120 bags. What? For each quarter, for each section. And there's got to be rebar in it because I read. And there's got to be chicken wire and some other bullshit. Okay, cool. So I just started mixing the concrete. I'm like, 2 bags of concrete per. That's 120 bags. I'm going to have to do this 60 times with the concrete out there and the mask on hours. And by the time I'm done and I'm floating in it, floating is a profession, man. And if you get that shit on your hands, it drinks up all the moisture and it hurts. I cracked my hands and I'm like, these concrete guys, man, those guys are something special. That's a hard, well-paid, much respect profession.
That's why Tony G went to the white collar side of the business.
He's like, I'm gonna sell that shit, man. I ain't gonna do it.
Julie Mo, I love the house with $225,000. My payment is $960 in taxes and insurance. Tony Bows.
Navy Mom Donna says, that's Lee. Yes, I'm always doing stupid shit like that. I'm like, hey, this is only gonna cost me $4,000 in 2 hours. And then it cost me $20,000 in 2 months. That's how it works.
So if you guys are interested in getting a home loan, go to the link in the bio, select apply for a home loan now. If you have crap credit, go to the link in the bio, select fix my credit. That's it, man.
Yeah, cool. You know what? We appreciate you guys. Thank you for all those extra hearts. Oh my God. Tony Bows is in the house. That's how we know. Look at, we got some hearts in the house today. We appreciate you. You know what? We will be back tomorrow. We are here to help you with Real Talk. We've been Chris and Lee. We are out.